with you. Who was more impressive yesterday, Hurts or Murray? Jalen Hurts or Kyler Murray?
Jalen Hurts. And look, let me tell you guys, it's always great when you can get some type of feature or you can see yourself pop up on the screen for the good things that you've done in the game of football. Even though it was light years ago, it's all good. But, you know, Jalen Hurts, man, he continues to impress. I mean, look, and it's only been 2 games, guys, and I get that. I understand that. But when I watch him carefully. I watch him thoroughly. I want to see, you know, how he reacts in football situations in terms of situational football, 2-minute drills, you know, 3rd down situations. And in every case, he looks poised. He looks like he's been there before. And he's actually gotten better as a passer since leaving Alabama and then going on to Oklahoma. And now, you know, he can step into a system like Doug Peterson's system and be a dual threat, move the chains, passing football, running the football. So yesterday, I thought it was more impressive because we know we're going to get more out of Kyler Murray. We know what he's going to bring to the table. He's proven. Jalen has to prove himself week in and week out. So I was very impressed with his performance yesterday, and I thought he played winning football.
I agree with you, Vic, and I want to talk about Kyler for a second. Because, Kyler threw for 400 yards, and he played well. However, the pick in the end zone in the second half was brutal and could have been a game-losing play. And we got to be honest about the Cardinals. If they had, quite literally, any receiver in the league in place of DeAndre Hopkins, I'm not saying Hopkins is necessarily the best, but I'm saying if you pick your favorite receiver and flip him out for DeAndre Hopkins, they would have won once in the last 2 months. D-Hop is the only receiver in the league that could have come down with the Hail Mary, and I believe he's the only receiver in the league with strong enough hands to do this. How that ball is not broken up is just a remarkable feat. Now, it's a good throw by Kyler. I'm not taking anything away from Kyler there. But this, DeAndre Hopkins, they've only won 3 times in the last 2 months. And D-Hop did 2 of them by himself. I shouldn't say by himself, but the game-winning plays were all him. So Jalen, on the other hand, Wilds, is taking an offense that looked absolutely dead on arrival week after week after week and making it sing. I mean, I understand Carson Wentz is leaking to the media. He doesn't want to be there. Spoiler alert, buddy. They ain't going to want you there either because this offense can function. We were told, oh, it's the offensive line. It's the receivers. It's the scheme. Jalen Hurts, a few months out of the draft, a couple years out of losing his job in college football, is like, I think I can make it work. I don't have a CeeDee Lamb on this team like I did at Oklahoma, but guess what? I'll make it work anyway. So I'm not trying to take anything away from Kyler. I thought he played well, absent the mistake. But the story is Jalen Hurts asserting himself in that position, Eagles starting quarterback moving into next year, and how different and dangerous this team all of a sudden looks down the stretch.
Yeah, you know who else looks good in this, Mike? Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson, look at old Doug Peterson. I'm back with a backup quarterback. Who's talking about firing Doug Peterson? I'm making it work here. Feels to me like he saved his job, and I'm surprised he didn't make the switch earlier. Meanwhile, Mike, and give me your take on this, because I had what Nick Wright called, quote, the worst take of the day for this take I'm about to give you.
Yeah.
What do we want Carson Wentz to do? Do we want Carson Wentz to be a good soldier and be like, you know what? I want to ride the pine. I want to hold the Microsoft Surface. I got $100 million. You know what I would like to do? I would like to erase the, the dry erase board while watching Jalen. I think it's okay to be like, look, if I'm not going to be the starter and this guy's crushing, I'd like to leave. All quarterbacks have to have some amount of ego and confidence. And the fact that we're like, wow, they play so confident. He's got, play so confident. And then we penalize that same confidence when they lose their job. I think it's okay that Carson Wentz wants to leave. That is, according to Nick Wright, the worst take of the day. Mike, what is your take on my take?
Listen, I think both of you guys have a point. Wiles, to your point, it's okay to want to leave. It's okay to want to move on, and the competitor in you that comes out, and that's natural, and it should be that way. And any team watching it hears that, should be ecstatic that Carson is speaking that way. In terms of what Nick said in his take, Philadelphia Eagles fans are brutal. They don't care. When they wake up and they read that quote in the paper, they're going to be like, all right, cool, whatever, go your own way. It's just the way they're bred out there, and it's the way that they look at the game. So I think both of you guys are right. And for Carson, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay to move on.
Here's the thing, Vic. We're not both right. Wildes is wrong. And here's why Wildes is wrong. It's about timing. This is a totally fine and reasonable thing to say, not leaked through anonymous sources, but on the record, and I will defend you if you do it in 2 weeks. You just got to wait till the season's over. When the season's over, if Carson Wentz says, you know what, y'all didn't support me the way you should have. Even if people will argue with him, I'll support him. Y'all drafted this kid. You wanted this kid. You now put this kid in there. Fine, go with him. I want to go have a chance to compete for a starting quarterback job. Fresh start where I don't have to walk past a statue of my old backup to go back up the second-round pick you took this year. I want out. I would totally support him. But there is an element of team sports, especially when it's a young player who I guess I would argue this, Wildes. Jalen Hurts was more professional when he lost his job as a college kid, when he had accomplished more at Alabama than Carson Wentz has in Philadelphia, than Carson Wentz is being as a pro making $32 million a year. So I got no problem with the message. I got a problem with the timing of it. Go ahead, Vic.
Yeah, and look, I agree with you on that. And in 2013, when I lost my spot to Nick Foles due to a hamstring injury, and they went on to the playoffs, I had to be a good sport about it. I didn't talk about leaving. The following year, I stayed in the element. I stayed in the realm, and I didn't, not support Nick. I supported the whole team, and that's the attitude that you have to have. So thanks for bringing me back to reality for a split second.
And he could have done
Wildes.
And he could have done that, Wildes. He could have either not said anything at all or just said, listen, right now I'm supporting the guy that's out there. We'll see what happens when the season ends. Obviously, I want to be out there, but right now, whoever helps the team wins. I could write this in my sleep. I didn't play 1 day of professional football. He's following the lead of Doug Peterson, who also is not great with the media. I just think it's a terrible look for him. He already has a bad reputation of not getting along with the rest of his life.